Welcome to Network Marketing Pro. My name is Eric Warrior, and I'm here with the one, the only, Gloria Mayfield Banks.
I'm excited to be here.
How are you?
I'm excited. I'm doing great.
Are you ever not excited?
Never.
You're
I'm
always excited.
I'm always excited. Even when I'm mad, I'm excited.
You know, there are people in the world that are sparkly people. This person is a sparkly person.
I'm glad to be sparkly. There's
Yeah.
never enough bling in the world. Never. Just never.
Well, I wanna get to know your story a little bit.
Okay. All right.
You are a superstar in the network marketing profession.
Thank you.
You've spoken at our event before,
Yeah.
and we're going to do it
It was
again.
a blast. It was a
And big hit with everyone.
Thank you.
And you can
Thank
see
you.
why you've been successful
Thank you.
around the world. I think you'd be successful at anything.
Thank you. I agree.
But talk to me about where did you come from? You know, what's your upbringing? What was your family like? What was
Okay.
it like as a kid growing up? What formed you?
Okay, that's a great question. I want to go back to the fact that I do believe I can be successful at a lot of different places. I'm just glad I picked this profession to be successful at. I think there's been so many more rewards. But I can honestly tell you, I had very little exposure to this profession before I came up. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. Fabulous Midwestern upbringing.
Where in Detroit?
Northwest side, over by Southfield. By 7 Mile in Livernois.
I grew up in Southfield,
No way.
9.5 mile Mount Vernon.
No way. Of course I should have known that. Total connection. Yes, I am bred, and Detroit is my home, and my parents still have a home there. And I'm the third of 4 girls. My father was so excited to have all girls. You know, he had all girls, and they did a great job. I always tell people my parents really did an awesome job, very much on purpose with building our self-esteem. Took us everywhere, told us we'd be great and
What did they
everything.
do for a profession?
My mother was a teacher, but she started off as a nurse, so she was a nurse for several years. And when she was pregnant with me, she went back and got her master's in education so that she could teach and have better hours. And interesting enough, while she was doing that, she did network marketing. She did, I'm trying to remember, it's no longer a company now, but we remember seeing her network market. She loved it. And so my father was an educator as well, and then he moved over to the medical field and did a lot with the medical field profession. So that was a profession. So we were very strong middle class, great exposure, all of us very well educated. I had a tough time because when I was in the 7th grade, they found I was dyslexic. Let me just tell you this brief story. Okay, so I come home with a book report due, and I cut up my textbook. My mother has a fit. That's when they found out that I cut it up, that I would do that I didn't understand how to do a book report, and she was an educator, and that's when they had me tested. What was wrong? What was going on? Because I was bright, I was confident, I would speak up, but the reading part was so tough that I didn't want to write the book report. I just wanted to cut out the important part and stick it in there and just hand it in. So that's when they had me tested.
That's right. So you weren't cutting it up because you were mad at it.
No.
You were cutting it up just because that was a way for you to organize it.
That was the best way to get the words on the piece of paper.
You're just trying to get it done.
I didn't want to write it. I didn't want to read it.
Right.
So that's when they had me tested, and that's when they found out that I was dyslexic. And that's when my whole world sort of shifted, because there was a time when I would always be the student that was in the special room. You know, when you finish your test and all the kids would go out to play, I was still in the test. I, for so long, used to say I was sick. On every test day, I would always be sick. And it's tough to trick a teacher, which was my mother, that I don't feel good. I just can't go today, because I knew that I was going to have a hard time in school. So that was my beginning. But I pushed through.
So it's funny for me. I don't think I was dyslexic, but I was challenged in the formal education system.
Yeah.
Because I had a very difficult time learning 20 minutes at a time of a subject.
Interesting.
If we did 3 months of mathematics, I'd be fine. 3 months of science, I'd be fine. So I could really get, surround it, because I'm a slow learner.
Okay.
Once I get it, I get it.
Yeah.
But 20 minutes, now we're going to shift and talk about, the Civil War. Now we're going to shift, and we're going to...
and then you have to go home and read about it.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
So I struggled. I barely escaped high school.
Yeah.
But I found it interesting over the course of my career how many really high achievers are dyslexic.
Yes, yes.
A huge number.
A huge number of dyslexic. And so when I talk all the time, so many people come up with their tears in their eyes. And they say, I can't believe you say it out loud. You're just bold about it. And I tell people, oh yeah, every time I send you an email, I promise you there's a misspelling. And anytime I send you a phone number, it's definitely wrong, But that's just who I am. That's just who I am. And I've also found out that when you're dyslexic, it's been proven that you're pretty smart. So, but you don't know that at the time that they're discovering you're dyslexic. So I think what happened to me was, number one, humor evolved in my conversation, and I became strong at the humor, and talking was a big piece of it because reading wasn't my gift, so I would talk my way through things.
Interesting.
And I think, really, honestly, I think that's where that warrior comes out. When you have a
fighter.
challenge, when you have a challenge, if you're a person that's going to push through the challenge, it shows up later on in life.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you find this out in the 7th grade, you said?
7th grade.
And then you push through. Everybody kind of manages it.
Yeah.
You kind of manage it.
Yeah.
At least you have a way to understand when you're frustrated sometimes.
Exactly.
People probably give you a little bit of a pass.
And the teachers
sometimes.
understood now.
Yeah.
Now the teachers understand.
They
what's
know
going
where to
on with warrior.
categorize.
Right.
So you move through. You get through high school.
I get through high school, but while I'm in high school, I become a cheerleader.
Okay.
And I was a captain. And we went to state champs.
I can imagine.
And we won.
Yes, of course.
So that's where that tenacity came out. I would have everybody practicing on the lawn at 7 o'clock in the morning. My mother's like, you're going to wake up the whole neighborhood. What does that matter? We're going to win the state championship.
Right.
And all my friends were like, we're going to practice at 7 o'clock. I'm like, yes, we have to win. So that tenacity started out very early. I love to win.
Yeah.
Love to win.
I love that. So you finish high school. Then what?
Finish high school. Finish high school, go to college.
You go to college?
I go to college. Oh, yeah, I go to college. Everybody's going to college. Everybody's going to college.
That was part of your family upbringing. You're going to college.
Yeah, you're going to college.
Were those educators in the family?
Yes. Oh, and they were proud
Where'd
to
you
have
go?
gone to college. I went to Howard University in Washington, D.C., and they had wanted me to go to a different college, and I didn't want to. They wanted me to go to a college that had what do you call it when you have to be home at a certain time?
Curfew?
Yeah, it's a curfew. I was like, oh, no.
No, that's not going to work.
No.
You got freedom now.
No, I am a freedom kind of person. So I went to Howard University. My sister had gone to Howard University. So if it was good enough for her, it was good enough for me. My mother and I only had 2 arguments in life. One was where I was going to go to college, and one was the church I was going to get married in. And she wanted me to get married in the family church, but she invited 700 people, so of course they weren't going to fit in that church. So we had this argument about that, but that was another talk show.
2 is not too many.
Yeah.
That's a
2 is
pretty
great.
good life.
We have a fabulous relationship. Relationship. But I went to college, went to Howard, studied management. While I was there, I started working part-time at a grocery store. Interesting enough, the grocery store is where I found out I had strong people skills. Because I was working in the express line. And I don't care how many items they had. My line was always 3 times longer than any of the other cashiers.
Everybody just wanted to hang out.
They just wanted to be there. They wanted the sunshine. They wanted the
They'll
smile.
go put some of the items away so they're under 15,
And
so they can come
also,
talk to you.
It was so good. It was so good. And I'm dyslexic.
Yeah.
So it took me longer to count the money, but they didn't care because I was talking to them while I was counting the money.
Yeah.
And so that's
so
why
you
I found
became
out.
like the ambassador of the grocery store.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. And that's where I learned that I love to work because I always would walk around the grocery store with my hand up like this. And everybody said, why are you walking around with your hand up like that? I said, well, because when they asked you who wants to work overtime, I wanted my hand to already be because I was ready to work. So much later in life, my girlfriend called me up. She says, you know what, Oprah's doing a show about workaholics. You should watch it. I said, I'm not going to watch that. I'm working. But I do love to work. I mean, I really do. I'm one of those people who I love working.
Why do you think you loved working so much? Have you ever looked into why? Even back then?
I think I've been very fortunate to be excited and grateful for whatever's in front of me. I would work when I started working at a pizza parlor. I was excited on the phone with the pizza parlor people. And then I started working some retail. Everybody's done a little bit of retail. I was excited to that. When I was at the grocery store, I was excited to work at the grocery store. And I like business. So I would go into the grocery store, instead of just this is my job, I always wanted to know, how did it work? Why did they put the milk over there? Why did they put the fruit over there? So then when I left Howard and then worked for a while at Polaroid and then went to Harvard Business School, It was because I was so intrigued with business.
Harvard Business School.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
How does a dyslexic person get into Harvard
Yeah.
Business School?
Well, you know, when you get into a place like that, you think you're the only mistake.
Stop it.
Like, they let me
How did
in
that
there.
happen?
Well, my sister went there first, and
Okay.
so my vision was expanded.
Mm-hmm.
And we're the only two African American sisters who graduated from Harvard Business School.
Really?
Yeah, so it's very exciting. Ever. We didn't find that out till like 2 years ago, so it was very exciting. And I really do believe I had some amazing teachers at Howard who said, go, go. One of my most humbling...
Think it was the people skills that got them to be in your corner?
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Oh, totally.
You built relationships.
It was relationships, and it was confidence. You know, there's nothing more powerful than being confident or acting confident. And when you're in that arena, people come to you. People are drawn to you. And so I didn't do a lot of school activities because I like to work. So I was always, you know, they said, well, if you do the school activity, then you're going to have to slow down on your part-time work. Oh, no, I love money too much, so I would work. But they encouraged me, and so I applied. And when I got there, it was very difficult. It was very, very
First
difficult.
time they accepted it? They accepted your
Yep, I
application
got in
right away?
first time I applied, I got accepted.
And how did you pay for something like that?
Well, it was a combination of loans, and it was Polaroid, who I worked with before, gave me some loans in the school. It was really all loans. It was really all loans. So I've never been afraid of loans
Yeah.
because I'm not afraid of work.
Right.
And, you know, you said it before, I've said it before, you invest in yourself. I was never afraid to invest in myself. So,
Yeah.
you know, my thing is, if someone else has done it, I can do it.
Love
and
it.
there was never going to be a time when my parents were going to be able to afford that type
Sure.
of education.
Sure.
So my most humbling experience was to go to the teachers and let them know that I was dyslexic, because in my application I did not tell them I was dyslexic.
At Harvard?
At Harvard. I did not tell them. I did not want that to count against me. I didn't want them to make any assumptions about what I could and couldn't do. So I applied like everybody else. But when I had that very first 4-hour exam, right, and I had to read. And then it was a written exam.
Wow.
So you had to read and write. And I turned in, seriously, Eric, I turned in one sentence after 4 hours.
Wow.
That's all I could get done. And of course, I was totally intimidated. I went to my professors and I had to tell them, I'm dyslexic, I have a reading disorder, I need extra time, I need extra help. And because it's a bell curve, you know, 10% fail, 10% excel, I had to end up in that middle range. So that told me that they were going to make some assumptions about me, but that's the only way I was going to make it through.
Yeah.
So I had to confidently go in there and tell them, this is the deal.
So you had to sell that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
This was like a defining moment.
Yeah, it really
Some
was.
people would be crushed and say, I don't belong here.
Right,
And
right.
they would go home and their pride wouldn't allow them to.
Yeah.
And some people would go in and apologize.
Right.
You
Well,
know,
now-
you know what I mean, versus
Oh,
going
yeah.
in with
Yes,
your
yes,
shoulders
yes. I'm
back.
so
And
sorry.
my
I
chin
can't-
up and,
yeah.
and hey, I'm an asset to this
Right.
organization.
Well, that's where the self-esteem comes in. The training of the self-esteem, you belong here. Wherever you are at this moment, you belong. You belong here. So what you do with it is up to you. So, you know, you tell the truth.
What'd they say?
They were taken back. They were taken back, but again, they're professors, so they weren't surprised that I wasn't the first one and I'm not the last one.
Sure.
But I think they're mostly moved that you would apply. You applied to Harvard knowing you were dyslexic? Did you know about the situation? I said, yes, I knew, but I was going for it. And then when they accepted me, I was going for it. And then after I worked at Harvard, and then I went and had a career at IBM for a minute, I went back to Harvard Business School and I did admissions. So now my job is to admit people
Wow.
with these same types of challenges. The question becomes, how do you handle the question? How do you handle the challenge?
What are they prepared to do about it?
Yeah, what are they going to do about it?
Yeah.
So I get that question a lot. I get questions a lot about how did you move through the Dyslexic Association.
Sure.
You know, so it worked out good.
So what kind of grades you get? What kind of grades you get?
Actually, in marketing, I did great. In finance, it was tough. It was tough, but I made it. You have to make it. You have to make it. And the thing is, again, the people skills, the thing is that I was in the study groups, and I would be the first one there. I would be the last to leave. I would tell everybody we have to study some more. I would be pushing everybody. If you can get an A, I can get a B. So we
Right.
just work at it. But really, honestly, when it came to the marketing piece, when it came to organizational behavior, when it came to those kinds of skills, I did phenomenal. And so it all balanced out. Finance was not my strength, but strategy is. And so I use that.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, so you get your degree
I
from
get my
Harvard.
MBA.
Your MBA
Yeah.
from Harvard Business
Harvard.
School.
Yeah. 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 Very
I'm
happy.
intimidated sitting next to you.
Please. It was
I
good,
have
though.
8 credits at Normandale Community College. That's all I have. I have a 2.0 in my 8 credits.
Yeah.
That's it.
And thank you. Thank you.
So you finished there.
Yep, finished there.
And where does your journey take you from there?
Okay, you can't tell me anything now because I got a Harvard MBA. I'm hanging out with everybody.
You're
all
just
the
the
sweet people.
coolest, the cool of cool.
I really made it through. Got the degree. It's up on the wall, and I take a job with IBM.
Okay.
And I start selling. That's really where my sales career starts. And I am walking in to sell the big computers, the very large computers to the big companies. And I love it. I really, really love it. Now, because finance was a challenge, of course, that's where I get to sell to, the finance companies. And God has a great sense of humor, and he puts me in front of those people, and I have to turn it on. I have to know what I'm doing. IBM at that time is the place to be. So I'm very excited that but what's interesting is that when you leave Harvard Business School, sales is not naturally the career choice.
Right.
So people were asking me,
You're gonna be telling people
here
what
we
to
go.
sell.
Yeah, again, why'd you pick that? Again, why'd you pick that? It seems to be my journey. Why did you choose that? So anyway, I start selling for IBM. I become one of their top salespeople, and I love it. And they call me into the office, and they want to promote me. And I'm excited. But that's when I find out that they're going to take me off commission and pay me straight salary.
That doesn't fit with you.
It just doesn't
That doesn't work with you.
because you don't have control.
You get a promotion,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden you can't drive your income up
I can't control.
unless you get stock options or something.
I don't know what they get, but what they told me was I was going to go on straight salary. And then when you come on straight salary, you can take a little decrease in pay, just a little. Well, little, there's no room for decrease. There's no room for decrease. So anyway,
You're not a decreased
no,
girl.
No. And I can't perform that way. I perform in the win. I perform in the race. I like it. That's where I work well. And I do love helping other people become successful. So I was very excited to move into management. I was excited to teach other people how to do what I had done. But I quit. And
You just quit?
I just really quit. I just
Why,
really
why
quit.
didn't you just go stay in the sales? That wasn't the option? It
Well,
was either move up or
because
move
the
out?
bottom line was, if you read the writing on the wall, was when you excel, they're going to offer you
They're going to
a
punish you a
career.
little bit.
Yeah, that was going to take me away from what I want. So if at the beginning of my career I excel, and you offer me something I don't want to stay there. And it was a very difficult
Did you
situation.
quit right away or after a little while?
Oh no, it
Just
didn't
right
take
away?
long.
Yeah.
It didn't take long. No.
Did you have a place to go before you quit?
No. I mean, I saw the writing on the wall, so I was paying attention.
Yeah.
And so I started looking. Absolutely.
Yeah,
I started
but
looking.
you didn't have a
But I
place.
knew what I was going to do. I was going to leave. And so it probably was a quitting at the same time I got an offer
Got
to
it.
go someplace else
Got
because
it.
I knew the offers were going to come. And you have the network. You have
Mm-hmm.
the Harvard network, and you have the Howard network. And so that wasn't going to be an issue. But I was not going to stay there. That's what I knew.
Just
and
boom.
and it didn't matter to me what other
You
people
went,
thought.
this model is not
It's not
gonna-
working for
gonna
me.
fit my
It's not going
personality.
to make me happy.
Right.
I'm not going to be juiced up. I'm going to settle. And I've seen in my life before that where if you settle, eventually you become unhappy.
Yeah.
So I was out,
Got it.
and I didn't care what everybody thought.
Got it. So from there, what happens?
So I leave there and I take a job with Stratus Computers and I become a marketing manager. Now I really become a manager, but I'm a very high-paid executive. And this
There's
is where
probably some
travel.
incentives in there too.
Oh, a lot of incentives, feeling really great,
Yeah.
corporate card, office, secretary, it was fabulous. And I was traveling. So now I fall in love with traveling. Get on an airplane, go here, get on an airplane, go there. In between all of that, I get married.
Yes.
And I am in domestic violence.
Hmm.
So people don't know that, though. My sisters don't know that, who I'm very close to. My mother doesn't know that, who I'm very close to. Here I am excelling at my career and coming home to a very difficult situation.
Wow.
But the optimistic attitude, that sparkler that you saw, was going inside the home. And I just really believed I could handle it. I handle everything else. Of course I can handle this. 10 years of domestic violence. And it's hard to explain to people what that's like when you walk out of the house with a big smile on your face and you walk into the house and you shrink because of the situation. But that was my life. So anyway, in between that, I get invited to a party. And here goes my network marketing career. And I loved it. I mean, it's so crazy to get to the top of this industry with such a easy entry. I just went to a party. I saw somebody make some money. They were having a good time. I said, I want to do it. And they looked at me like, really? And I was like, yeah, I really want to do it. And I was thinking part-time, just to make a little extra money on the side, okay, so the truth is, now when I look back, I wanted the energy. I wanted the fun. I wanted to laugh.
You had a negative energy situation and you needed a positive energy environment.
Yeah, I wanted to have some girlfriends. I wanted to laugh. I like to laugh. And there wasn't a lot of laughing going on. And I did not have time. Trust me when I tell you, I did not have time. And I was running the Girl Scout troop for my pastor at the church. And of course, we were selling more cookies than anybody else because I like to win. So, that was all that was going on. All that was going on at the same time. But that's what happened. I walked in there. I saw what was going on. I decided to join, and I had a small vision.
And what's happening at home at that time?
I know I'm going for divorce. I know I'm going for divorce, but I don't know when I'm going to go to divorce.
You're looking for an exit strategy. You just don't know how it's going to happen exactly.
Yes, and because I didn't have a lot of people that knew the circumstances, a lot of people were telling me to get out of that world. But when you walk into an environment where everyone's positive.
It's a very lonely situation.
Very
isolating.
Yes, yes, because you don't want people. I'm telling you, I am going to write a book about shame because shame really keeps us at a place that's very uncomfortable.
Because that didn't fit the rest of your life pattern.
Right, and it didn't fit the picture of what people saw for Gloria Mayfield Banks.
Yeah.
Gloria Mayfield at the time.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
Gloria Mayfield Banks sounds cool. Though.
Isn't that good? Doesn't it have a good rhythm?
Yeah, it's got a good rhythm. it's really cool. All right, so you see this thing. This is cool. I want to get some good. Be around some positive people. Have some positive energy. So what happens?
Okay, so now I walk in, and my vision is very small, and I'm okay with that because I have this life that everybody thought I should have. Great career, great income, great executive. They don't know about the divorce situation, but I'm okay. Big car, big house, everything's going great. So no one understands why I might want to add something else to my plate.
They're like, what?
Are you crazy? You're already busy. You're already complaining about you being busy. And, but I'm having a good time. I'm really having a good time. They're having parties. I'm having parties. My vision is small, just a little extra money until I start seeing these prizes. Didn't matter if I wanted the prize.
Big
it was
prize.
A prize.
Because somebody's going to win, somebody's going to lose.
I'm going to win, I'm going to win, and I'm going to take a lot of other people with me to win.
Yeah.
So we're having a good time. So I start building. I start building my customer base, I start building my team, and we're having a good time. And I'm having a good time figuring it out. That's what I think
the adventure
I love.
of it.
Yes. Why did you say no? Why did you say yes? How could you say no?
Right.
How could you say yes? Why do you want to come with me? Why don't you want to come with me? You don't have to be like me. Stop telling me I'm not like you, Gloria. You don't have to be me. I don't need you to be me. I just need you to be your best you. What do I need to do to persuade? What do I need to do? How do I handle the no's? How do I manage everything? How do I prove to people I can do this? I love to prove to people that it can be done. So I start, and I'm handling my full-time job. And I keep my full-time job for about 2.5 years. And then when I walk in to quit my job, now I'm working at Harvard Business School full-time. And I walk in to my boss, and I say, I'm going to quit. And she says, really? I said, yeah. She says, to do the other thing? I said, yeah. She says, really? I said, yeah. And so she's sort of taken back, and so is everybody else, but I'm having a blast. And now...
How much are you making at that time in your network marketing business?
$8,000 a month.
$8,000 a month. All right. And how much were you making in your other career?
I was making about $60,000 to $65,000 a year.
Okay.
You know.
So you're making a little bit more part-time than your full-time situation.
Exactly.
And having more fun.
And having a lot more fun.
Building some camaraderie. You had some girlfriends.
Great friends. Great time.
There's
great
always a prize to reach for.
Always something that got me going.
Somebody was recognizing your effort and
Big recognition.
Big recognition, and that drove you.
Big recognition.
Yeah, yeah.
And I could give big recognition.
Yeah.
I liked receiving recognition. I liked giving recognition. And I really liked the adventure. You know, I'm married to a magnificent man, Ken, and he loves adventure. I did not know how much I was going to love adventure.
When did the other marriage end and the new relationship start?
Well, when I started with my company in direct selling, I broke a record. And when I broke that record, I got a big check. When I got a big check, it paid for the big lawyer. Because I needed a big lawyer. Because he was a magnificent, successful man as well. And so...
But an abusive man.
An abusive, magnificent, successful man. So we knew this was going to be a fight. And so I took that money. So I appreciate the opportunity to make my income better. And I tell people all the time, sometimes we shy away from talking about income, but you know, I love working with you because you're very out loud about the income and what that income can do for you. So that income made a big difference for me. So here I go, and I get a divorce.
It was a ticket to freedom.
And I fight, and I fight, and I get a divorce, and I'm happy. I'm a happy single mother, and I'm got a career that makes me happy. I got a career that requires I look good. I got a career that requires I'm happy. I got a career that requires other people to be happy. My kids are happy. Everything's going great. And then I go on vacation, and I meet my husband on vacation. And we always tell the story about we met at Wet n Wild.
For real?
And it was wild. Yeah, it was. It was just like that. It was so good. It was magic. It really, really was. It was magic. And in 15 minutes, Eric, he was clear with me. He said, I just want you to know, I'm never getting married. I just want you to know I'm never getting married. I said, okay, that's great. I just want to let you know I'm getting married in 5 years. And don't talk to me, because if you talk to me, you're going to fall in love with me. So we talked. We fell in love 6 years later because we couldn't get married in 5 years. He's a magnificent, a very successful international negotiator.
Yeah.
He's a very, very fabulous businessman. And so it worked out so well because his business was growing. My business was growing. Both of us are entrepreneurs with very different professions.
Yep.
But he had 2 small kids. I had 2 small kids. We blended our family. It's been great. Yeah, really great.
So I love that.
It's been good. It's been
Don't
really
talk
good.
to me. You're going to fall in love with me.
You gotta know. You gotta know.
I'm just telling you, warning you now.
Let's not have this conversation.
Walk
'cause
away.
It's gonna be good.
While
It's
you
gonna
still
be good.
can.
It's gonna be good.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. it was
So,
good.
all right. So you $8,000 a month.
Yes.
You decide to take the leap. You put in your notice, and you start to amp it up.
Yeah. Well, no. First, I sit at home,
Okay.
and I'm saying to myself, I got all this extra time.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do with all this
So
extra time?
for a little while, you needed to figure out
Like-
some new habits.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like really, I talk about the
Most
mind
people go
shift.
through that same thing.
Yes. Yes.
You know, I'm going to go full time, and I'll be able to pour all this other energy. They usually just they go, oh, I can rest.
Right.
And then they rest for a while,
That's the mistake.
2-3 months before
Right.
they actually go, oh, wait,
Yeah.
I need to amp up the
Yeah.
activity and pretend that,
I sat at my desk and I remember it like it was yesterday. I sat there, I was like, what am I gonna do with all this extra time? What am I gonna do with all this extra time? I was like, are you kidding me? You got tons that you've been wanting to do. And you just didn't have the time to do it. And so now you have the time to do it. That's when I really started blowing it out of the water. You know, I loved it. I love the fact that I hate to go to bed. And I love the fact that I throw the covers off my body when it's time to get up in the morning. Still. Yeah, still was good.
So, how long have you been involved in this profession now?
28 years. It'll be 28 years next month.
28 years.
28
Guess what?
years.
Mine was 28 years last week.
I heard that. That's crazy. I know.
So
about
we're
28.
like in the same thing.
Time for a quantum leap.
So cool.
Yeah.
But you're so much smarter than me.
Oh, please. Please.
So 20 years, and over that period of time, I just want to give people a sense of scale.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to brag. I'm not making any claims about what anybody else is going to earn. I'm not
Right.
bragging about any other particular thing. I just want to talk a sense of scale.
Yes.
Over the course of this career, any idea how much you've earned in total?
Oh, yeah.
How much?
Yeah. Over 10 million.
Over 10 million in commissions over the course of your career. And very comfortable lifestyle now as you grow your business
Yes.
around the world.
Yes.
How many countries is your group connected to?
We're now in 5 different countries. We're in the U.S., we're in Canada, we're in Brazil, we're in Colombia, we're in Mexico.
Okay.
it's
Five
growing.
different countries, and it's growing.
And it's growing.
What do you think? You've looked at this profession for a long period of time,
I have.
like I have. what are the defining characteristics of the high achievers? What separates? I'm always curious.
Yeah.
What separates the person? Sometimes there's a fighter element. They got something to prove. Other times it's not about that. So it's different for different people.
Right.
But there's some common threads in between this.
Yeah.
What do you see that causes a person to excel in network marketing?
I love this kind of conversation because for years I used to say, what's the it factor? What's the it factor? So we look at each person and see, do they have the it factor? Do they have the it factor? So first I always tell people, it's not your personality. It's not your personality. I've seen all kind of personalities at the top of their game in this. So don't look for the personality. But I think it is a combination of a couple things. I do think that it's that raw desire of ambition that comes at you different ways. Who knows if it's your background? Who knows if it's your role models? Who knows if it's your failure that you've had? Who knows if it's because it's something you had to prove to someone? I'm not quite sure, but I do know it's raw ambition that starts someone looking at doing something differently than they've done before.
Right.
Their desire to do something, they have a raw ambition. And ambition shows up in a lot of different ways. I do believe that it either takes confidence or your desire to have confidence. Because I really do believe, of course I'll tell you about my book, Quantum Leap, and I have to say that in that book, Quantum Leap, I talk about the component of confidence. And I always talk about that you have to be willing to know that it's dynamic. Because once you're confident in one area, you slip out of another area, so you have to get it back. I believe that it takes a love of people. It's hard to do this if you don't love people. And you have to, and people say that all the time, well, I love people. I think it's a different kind of love. I think it's you appreciate people, but you really want to see people better. I really believe that people that are at the top of their game really lay in their bed at night thinking, how can I expose the training, the lifestyle, the leadership, the education, how can I help someone else get better at what they're doing?
One thing that I've seen that's kind of interesting, and I think it's true with just about everybody, at the beginning the ambition's personal.
Yes.
I need to make money, oxygen.
Right.
I need that check to be able to get my freedom. I need to be able to do this or this or this. And once you get that, then there's a shift. At some point,
I agree.
For people to go to greatness, if they stay and it's all about them, then they don't go to greatness.
Right, exactly.
They'll make some money, but they're never going to be, go to the stratosphere.
Right.
There's a shift that happens. It becomes about contribution.
Right.
And their goals become, instead of just personal income, their goals become how many people can I help.
Right.
And that becomes their fuel. And what's interesting is the fighter fuel and the personal ambition fuel is one level of fuel.
Right.
But it's rocket fuel.
Right.
When it becomes about somebody else.
I agree with you 1,000%. And so someone sent me a message, and they said, Gloria, we're watching you. And because we watch you, what we see is, why are you so driven? Why do you keep that energy level so high when it's impacting other people? And that's what they see. So I'm listening to this message, and I'm walking around my yard, and I'm listening to her talk to me, and tears are rolling because she gets me. I said, you get me. I'm not doing this just for more lifestyle. I'm doing this so that all that are around me get it. Absolutely for myself. And absolutely for my family. But once that was taken care of, and that felt good, I want it for everybody else. So that when people walk up to me and say, Gloria, I want to be just like you. I said, no. I need you to be better than me because I get paid on you, number one.
Right.
And number two, if you do it, then you'll show somebody else how to do it.
Yeah.
And that feeds me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
What else do you see as far as what makes you different? Why are you,
I like to work.
An 8-figure, or do you like to work?
I like to work. Now, I always tell people I like to work and I like to play.
So a lot of people try to get away from work. They try to get work over with so they can play.
Yeah. Well, I like to work, but you have to pick the work you love. And they say, we've heard it all the time, if you work what you love, it never feels like work. And so I like to work, and I like to work with people, and I like to do what I do, and I like to create. So I think that's a big part of it. I'm not looking to stop. I'm looking to, I remember.
Is it just for the sake of the work, or is it because you feel like it's fulfilling your purpose?
It's definitely my purpose.
Yeah, there's an article. A person was that I read on Facebook who's linked somewhere.
Yeah.
And this person was mentored by 2 different billionaires, and he said, "Here's 20 things I learned from the billionaires." And one of the things it gave me, because when you love work, like I love work,
Right.
okay, sometimes people can make you feel guilty.
Yeah.
And like maybe there's something wrong with you,
Yeah.
because everybody else doesn't seem to be wired that
Right.
same way.
Right.
And one of the things that this person said about the billionaires was this: they never take a day off completely.
Interesting.
Now they might be in the middle of the French Mediterranean. They may be sitting in Bora Bora.
Right.
But
Right.
their
Right.
mind is still thinking, because it's their passion, it's their
It's-
baby. They're looking
They're
at
happy. What is
Yeah.
just wrong with being happy?
They're
with that?
they're loving it,
Yeah.
because they're investing every day into the next day.
Right, right.
Like
energy.
Like
It's
you said,
energy.
you're trying to understand it. They're looking at the resort that they're
Right.
sitting in, saying, "I wonder how much money they're
Yes,
pulling in."
yes,
That
yes.
bar doesn't seem to be
Right,
busy enough
right,
for
right,
this
right.
level,
Exactly.
or whatever it happens to be.
Right.
And when I read that, I was like, "Oh,
You felt okay then.
yeah,
Yeah. I'm okay. I'm okay.
because that's how I'm wired."
Right.
You
And
know?
when people ask the question over and over again, sometimes they're asking the question because they want to know what makes you tick. But sometimes they're asking the question to understand why they tick.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it for me? Or why doesn't my brother like to work like I work,
Mm-hmm.
But I do like work, and I do like that I don't run out of things to do. It's always something more. It's always something bigger. It's always something better to do
Right.
out there. So I get juiced by that.
Right. So Gloria, we could talk about this
All day.
for a long time, for weeks and weeks, and I don't know if you know how much of your content that I have watched online
I'm glad.
and get
I'm glad.
value from what you do. I think you are one of the true ambassadors for our profession, important
you.
for our profession. It's not just the rags to riches. Sometimes it's the Harvard MBA
Right.
making the decision, the business decision,
Right.
to create something special. But this audience right here, that's either watching us or listening on a podcast or YouTube or wherever they're watching this, consuming this information, they want success like you
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
They might not know how to get it. They might not know if they might have self-doubt and insecurities that they're dealing with. But there's something in them that says, "I want more,"
Right.
and I'm hoping that this can be the vehicle for me.
right.
Look into the camera and give them, just talk to them as
Okay.
if it's just you and them in a room.
Okay.
Talk to them and give them some advice on what to do.
Okay. I'm excited to tell you guys some thoughts. Seriously, some real truths that I really believe. Number one, you've been exposed to this for a reason. This is not an accident. You've been exposed to this, and so that desire that you have right now to do better and be better is there for you. And so I really do believe, number one, you have to work on your belief. I think one of the things that I've loved about being in this industry is they teach you how to increase your belief. How to increase your belief. Not whether I have it or not, but how do I increase the fact that I deserve it? That if someone else has it, I can have it too. And so I want to encourage you to be on purpose with building your belief structure, and that there's ways in which to do it, and one of the ways is to visualize. It is also who you hang around. And I really want to tell you to be on purpose with who you hang around, and be kind, but tell people, you know what? I love you, but I just can't be around you right now. And I think it's important that you choose who you hang around. I think it's important that you learn to invest in yourself. People who are at the top of their game go and get it. They don't wait for it to come to them. They go and get it. Whether it's a podcast, whether it's a plane ride, whether it's an event, you will pay for investing in yourself, because you will be rewarded for investing in yourself. And that is one of the biggest lessons. And I want you to know, for me, I couldn't always afford it when I invested. And I didn't go because I was a superstar. I went because I wasn't a superstar, but I wanted to become a superstar. So that's why I went. And that's why I hung around the people. And I always tell people, you're not invited into the circle with the big people. You're not invited. You become a big person, and then you're in the circle. So don't wait around for the invitation. Go and get it. I want you to know that it can be learned, that it's a numbers game. Who cares who tells you no? Guess what? I'll tell you a secret. If they tell you no, they don't even know you. They don't know you well enough to tell you no. They said no to whatever you were offering, but they don't know you well enough to say no to you. So all you're doing is going through whatever you have to go through to get through the yeses. Work the numbers and work it hard. Work it like you're going to exceed. Work it like you're going to excel. Work it like you're going to win, and expect and tell people that you are. I will tell you one thing that I would tell everybody. And I've told a lot of people this, not everybody does it. But I think it's important that you have goal posters all around your house to feed your subconscious mind. Because when your subconscious mind is talking to you and telling you that you're going to achieve the next great goal, you will. Don't always focus so much on the big thing that's way out there. What's next? What is next for you? Yes, everybody's going to talk about you. They are. Why you work so hard, why you dream so big, why you talk so fast, why you move so quickly. And just tell them to watch. Just tell them to watch. The only person that has to buy into this is you. And if you buy into it, so many other people's lives are going to be changed because you went for it. So watch the magic unfold. Be happy in your choices. And go and get it because you deserve it. That's what I'd say.
Gloria, you are my friend. You are a rock star. Thank you for paying it forward. Thank you for giving it to this audience,
I'm
giving
excited
everything
to
that
be
you've
here
got.
with you, Eric. I really am. And I want to say thank you for all that you're doing. I do want to tell you that it makes such a big difference that someone is caring about everybody and that we're doing something to bring this industry along. And so that when they articulate network marketing, they know exactly what they're talking about.
Together, we're doing important work.
It's awesome.
All right,
Awesome.
ladies and gentlemen, our wish for all of you is that you decide to become a network marketing professional, that you decide to go pro, that you step into the greatness that is inside of you, because it is a stone cold fact that we do have a better way. Now let's go tell the world. Everybody have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.